Welcome everyone to Heroes of Might and Magic 14. I'm pleased to announce that after years, Ubisoft finally released a good game and they put those rights to good use. Wait, this is an indie game. Ubisoft has not put out a good game since Siege. Time flies when you're making garbage game. Enough about Ubisoft though. Let's talk Heroes Hour, made and published by Benjamin Howard. Apparently this guy made a whole game from his tweets. Drawing first person seems like a one-man project as far as I'm concerned. This game is the first experience I have with the game of this style. Heroes Hour is not about strength or might, it's all about jogging. Your strength is not really measured in plain force, but more in a combination of running around collecting everything that you can to overclock your war machine. My best strategy consisted of my main man Bonehead. By the way, Mr. Benjamin, why does this guy have a bow in his portrait and then he is a knight? That aside, Boner is really strong. In early game, he can suicide and then spawn a bunch of skelly men to do his dirty work. I love him. You also have such cool units you can improve your town. These Death Knight looking guys, these demons, red dragons, crusaders, even wizard men who can hunt and collect trophies. The options are quite a lot. I got 15 hours of this game and it was €15. It's a pretty good ratio, 1:1. The pixel graphics and size make it toaster approved game. There are some lags with bigger armies and sometimes the loot is behind your hero so you can pick it up. You walk too far and now it's too far away for you to pick up the loot. Still, it's pretty solid for this price. It gets a 8.5 in its price. The harsh part and my main criticism. I got tired of the music. I get it. You need to have 8-bit style song for this kind of game. I don't know man, maybe it's just me but I got tired. The sound effects are good, crunchy Minecraft sound. Solid 8, but the soundtrack, my Benjamin sir, it's not for me. It gets a 6.5. The graphics are quite cool, though of course one developer, not about the show compared to games like The Last Spell or Songs of Conquest. Still, I like them. I like the game size. There's a bit of a problem with the clarity sometimes. You can find stuff in the fights, it gets a bit messy, but still very good. Gets a 7.5. The game, the spells, the summon spells make it possible to win impossible fights. Some of the spells are really strong, some passives able to wipe out army. I think there should maybe be X4 speed in fight. You can skip fights that you'll certainly win, but some fights are kinda just like, I kinda wish I could skip them and give me the most likely result would happen. I don't really want to play out some fights where I'm just conquering a mine. I wish they could just go to the most probable outcome. I see the developer is working on DLC and some other classes nations, and if you're like me and you really enjoy the fantasy of some classes but it's bored by others, the game could really use a few more heroes and classes. The game and these kind of games have a lot of heterogeneity in their unit. Maybe it's me, but I kinda wish I could have an army of just 9, just one unit. But in this game you kinda end up having a bit of everything. You have these mercenaries you hired here, these knights you hired here, and it all loses a little bit of the fantasy aspect. This is more of a me problem, and probably most people like the heterogeneity of having a lot of classes and knights to pick from. This is minor stuff really. The game plays well, the battles are really enjoyable, and the fact that you get to see 500 units clashing against each other, it's really cool. And it's one of a kind in this aspect. It's a really cool game, especially for an indie title. Gameplay gets an 8.5, which all scores added gets a 7.8 out of 10 final score. To my therapist, if you're watching this.
I had a client with OCD once. He was quite the character, and anyways, we would look for things on the internet that he really didn't like, and then I'd print them out and have him put them on his fridge, which he did not like at all. And for a long time, I treated him for about 3 years. He would phone me like 3 or 4 times a day because he had obsessive compulsive disorder, and just swear at me like mad, you know. He'd just swear. I'd get these messages. He'd phone me and he was just so mad at me because I'd had him put these things on his fridge, you know. And so he'd curse and swear and yell at me, and then 2 minutes later he would phone and apologize and say he was really sorry and hoped I would continue to see him. And God, that just went on forever. But I felt sorry for the poor guy. He eventually ended up getting a puppy. Yeah, see, you agreeable people. Oh, a puppy! God, unbelievable, eh? Yeah.